Hi. So I know the market's been slumping a little bit, and a lot of people are worried about their portfolio. And that's why I'm here to talk about how to shield tokens. No, I'm kidding. It's not really shielding tokens, but more like how to turn token shields and news that are not as interesting to reach out to the media with and still get some exposure. So my name's Elad. I'm one of the founders and CEO of MarketAcross. We're one of the most prominent PR agencies in the space. We've been around for almost 7 or 8 years as a service provider. Me, myself, I'm more than 10 years in crypto since I bought my first Bitcoin. And we work with some of the biggest players in the industry. We're one of the only PR companies that don't have a retainer fee to work with, so we only work on deliverables base, working with clients like Polkadot. We've been Binance's PR for almost 2 years. Crypto.com, Tezos, EOS, Tron. We did the whole rebrand of Matic to Polygon back in the day. So we've been around the market, and that's why we kind of understand some of the pain points in the crypto market, as a lot of projects have a lot of news that are very important for them and for their communities, but not necessarily interesting for the general media. So a lot of times, if you want to put out an NFT drop, or you have a TGE, and it's very, very important for you and for your community, but not necessarily something that you can actually go to the media with. Like CoinDesk will probably not cover a TGE or a new drop of NFTs for like mutant fox zombies or whatever, because it's not really news. In order to get to real reporters, you probably need to either understand PR or have a PR company. But there is some kind of need that rose in the crypto space to still be able to put out news. So I want to talk about how we found these pain points, how we find these pain points, and we actually set up a new tool called ChainWire in order to help crypto companies that want to put out news but don't really find a home for it and struggle in getting coverage for things that are still important for their communities. So as we know, Web3 projects love announcing things because you have communities, you want to show the communities that you're active, you want to partner. There are a lot of partnerships with one crypto company and another crypto company, a lot of like things that you want to show the community that you're active. So as I said, you want to put it out there, but the crypto media is not super interested in it. Usually what crypto projects do is they post it on their Medium channel or they put it on Twitter and they kind of waste the news, announcing it themselves from an official source instead of having like a third-party coverage to what they're trying to achieve. Usually when you say something about yourself, it's less trustworthy than if someone else says it about you. So that created a well-documented pay-to-play kind of culture in crypto, and sometimes you reach out to magazines and they're like, okay, we don't like your news, but pay us and we'll put it on there. And that's a bad practice because you can get penalized by Google, and a lot of people just spot that. So you have sponsored posts that are not very interesting. I guess like nobody really reads them from beginning to end. And press releases are more of a common practice to kind of put it out there. So I don't know if you all know what a press release actually is, but a press release is a way for a company to communicate their messages in an official way. So usually if you are a big company, let's say you're Apple and you're releasing a new iPhone, you want to create a press release for the media to be able to get the specs from you and not from other sources. So you release a press release. That's a very common practice. You have all kinds of like channels to distribute these press releases, but none of these channels are super dedicated. That's why you have Business Wire. It's a Berkshire Hathaway company. Warren Buffett bought them. You have Cision, which is Newswire, which is one of the most common newswire services. And you have AccessWire and all kinds of wires. If you ever use the wire service, you know that it's like a cookie cutter kind of mechanism where you just put your press release there and you get a Yahoo Finance link. Sometimes it's like MarketWatch or Bloomberg. It's a good way to get authority, but it's not really interesting because it's not very niche specific. So if you send that link to someone, then you can tell him, hey, I was just on Yahoo Finance. If he's not very educated about PR and press releases, he would say, oh, wow, Yahoo Finance wrote about you. But if he is educated, he just knows that you paid for it like anyone does with any of these platforms. So if you go on the actual website, like on Yahoo Finance, on MarketWatch, on Bloomberg, this is unfindable. There's no way to reach to that release through the website. It's kind of like buying ad space. It's not really, forget about the fact that it's not editorial, but it's just really unfindable. It's only in English, so you're missing a lot of like the general, like the rest of the world that are less English speakers and less native. And usually it's not niche-specific relevant websites. It's just authority website and it's not super interesting for this. So basically what you get is just a nice Yahoo Finance link, which is, again, nice for authority, but doesn't really drive attention, doesn't really drive any like traction to the website itself. That's why we created ChainWire. ChainWire is right now the biggest wire distribution platform in crypto. And we created it because we saw a need for crypto projects to still push out news, still get traffic from this news, still get featured on niche-specific relevant websites, but with news that don't necessarily go through editorial or go through a news desk. So ChainWire, it's the industry's leading wire service right now, syndicated to the leading blockchain publications. So you can get featured on home pages, so you get actual traffic. People actually see your press release. It's not hidden in a website and nobody knows what's what. It's also used by other PR companies. MarketAcross is the design partner, and of course we built that platform, but it's a SaaS. You can just log in, put your press release, and it's there. You click a button and it just sends it through an RSS feed to all the crypto publications. So there's no service. Of course, there's technical support, but also as a company, like we have a lot of clients that are PR companies themselves that want to cater to their clientele. So we're connected to almost 70 different publishers. Every publisher in crypto that has a press release section, we can probably get to or are already connected with an RSS feed. It's built by us. We're a PR agency, so we know the pain points. That's why we built it. And it's really simple as 1, 2, 3. You log in, you choose a package, you put your press release. We just make sure that the language is OK and that it's like not full of typos. If it is, with a click of a button, you just pay. You can pay crypto or whatever kind of payment method that you want, and you sit back and you just watch all the coverage rolling in. Every publication that has a press release section, we can probably get to, from Cointelegraph to Bitcoin.com, Crypto Briefing, Crypto Potato. Everyone that has a way to feature your press release, we probably get to. We also work in languages, which is something that wires don't do. They completely ignore it. So if you want to be on CoinDesk Korea, for example, or Cointelegraph Turkey, or you want to get traffic from Japan through CoinPost, which is the biggest publication in Japan for crypto, you get relevant eyes on your press releases. Competitors in the space, as I said, like everyone has editorial kind of service and proofreading. We work 24/7. We accept crypto payments, which is super necessary for the crypto industry. You get homepage coverage, which is something that, again, nobody else is doing because homepage coverage, that's what kind of gets you the traffic because you actually get the first people at the door reading your articles. We guarantee publishing, so you just choose the package and we make sure that it gets there because we already have the deals in place. We produce mintable reports, so you can see all the coverage rolling in and you get it in a nice report that has kind of like bombing the internet with the same type of news, but again, very niche specific. So you get Cointelegraph, Crypto Potato, Crypto Briefing, all these guys. The most, probably I would say this service is like good for everyone because everyone has news. So again, if you have a community and you want to drive the community's attention, not necessarily but just posting it yourself, but you want to show them that you are getting some coverage that's outside, even if it's a press release, it's still not a sponsored post, so people actually like reading it. Most of the clients that we have, like exchanges is a really good example because exchanges have listings of tokens all the time, and it's not so interesting. Like, again, Cointelegraph editorially will never cover an exchange listing a token, especially if it's a less known exchange and a less known token. But maybe the community of that exchange still wants to know about it. Maybe it is something that is interesting for some of the people some of the time, so we find a home for it. Launchpads. A lot of times launchpads are dealing with new projects and new tokens. Again, maybe not interesting for the general media, but still interesting for the community and still something that you can drive attention to. NFT marketplaces, NFT drops. You know how many drops you have of like crazy NFTs that the general media doesn't care about. So this kind of shills will kind of making them into proper news. A lot of projects don't need an agency that they need to retain every month, but they just want to be laser focused when they have some news to put out there. So that's a very good tool if you don't want to commit to something ongoing. And yeah, basically every project that's looking for attention, we can probably help. Yeah, Gate.io is a good example of an exchange that's using it for almost every token listing, just because once you get used to it, you see the effect, and it works very, very well. On top of it, again, we also work with other PR companies that cater to their clients. So yeah, that's about it. Thank you very much. If you ever need help or you want to reach out to me personally, I'm MarketAcross on Telegram, ChainWire.org. Check it out, or yeah, just hit me up. Thank you very much.